Hey guys, it is Kevin here on Run Cause It's Fun on a rainy day here in Kobe, Japan, where I live as a Canadian living abroad in Japan. I tend to find that Canadians living abroad in Japan tend to live in Japan. How does that work? Alright, so I want to, today here on Run Cause It's Fun, give you a quick little rundown on my origin story, so to speak, of running marathons. I want to talk to you about my first marathon, how it happened, how I got into it, and all that stuff. So, by the way, I never used an umbrella until I moved to Asia. Interesting how that happens. Not because it didn't rain in Canada, but because you just walked around wet. So, 2002, okay, I never ran until I was in my late 20s. Okay, at the time I was living in Korea, working as an English teacher. And when I moved to Korea, I started smoking when I was probably about 19 years old. And it was something I tried to keep secret for a long time from my family, but I think they know because they're smart people. They knew. And when I moved to Korea, so then then when I lived on my own in my 20s, I smoked a lot. Living in Canada, though, an expensive endeavor. Moved to Korea in 2002, I was 26 years old. Cigarettes are cheap. Smoked a lot of cigarettes. I was up to a pack and a half to 2 packs of Dunhill Lights a day smoking. Had a moment, an eye-opening moment, when I was 28 years old, 29 years old, 28, 29, walking up a hill in downtown Seoul to my apartment on a hazy, hot summer day, and I got winded and almost had kind of like an asthma attack, just walking up a hill to my apartment. And I realized, shit, Kevin, you gotta stop smoking. So, what did I do? I stopped smoking. Luckily, I have strong willpower, which is the thing that's got me through so many marathons, not quitting. So, quit the smoking thing, started running a bit, got really into running, really enjoyed it. Ran in Seoul, joined a running club, ran a bunch of 5Ks, a bunch of 10Ks. Hurt my feet, didn't stretch, wore racing flats, didn't realize I had flat feet, did some damage, blah, 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 blah. Stopped running. Got into the gym. Became a weightlifting gym rat. Became a stocky, bulky weightlifting gym rat. Boom, 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 moved to Busan, lifting weights, short, stocky, big guy. Decided to go to grad school to become a quote-unquote real teacher, a teacher in Canada, get into a teacher education program in Canada, move back to Canada. Get back to Canada. At the time when I went back, I was a pretty fit guy in a kind of a weightlifting gym sense. Hadn't lived in Canada in 5 years, had a nice nest egg saved up for university, spent a lot of time drinking beer, eating hamburgers, eating french fries, all that good stuff I missed when I was living in Asia. I was in grad school, gained a lot of weight. Used grad school as an excuse not to exercise. I can't go out and run, too busy with grad school. Can't go to the gym, too busy with grad school. Plumped up nicely. My wife's Japanese. After grad school, decided to move to Japan. Moved to Japan. Wow, I'm really mumbly stumbly here, guys. I swear to God, I haven't had anything to drink. I'm on my way home from work. Tired. Drinks are for later tonight. I get to Japan and I was feeling pretty gross, I mean, for me, overweight wasn't really so much overweight, but I felt really sloth-like and bad. So, I guess on the bucket list of things to do in life was running a marathon. And I don't mean, a marathon is a marathon. A marathon is only one distance in my eyes. And I think technically in the eyes of the world. Well, not really. Because in Asia, if you run a 5K, they call it a 5K marathon. You run a 10K, they call it a 10K marathon. But a marathon is only one distance. That's 26.2 miles, 42.195 kilometers. That's a marathon. So I said that when I get to, when I'm in Japan, here I am in Japan, and it was, I think, April when I arrived. I said, I'm going to run a full marathon. And that's it. I'm going to run a full marathon. So I sat down with my wife, my new apartment, said, okay, let's get online and find a marathon for me. She got online, did some research. There's a website here in Japan called RunNet, where you sign up for all of your marathons. And she found a small marathon in Osaka called the Osaka Yodogawa Citizens Marathon, which would be in November. I think that year was November 7th. She signed me up. I said, okay, I'm going to train. Got online, did my research, read a lot about running. Fucking shit tons. Pardon my profanities. Don't use swear words often, but there you go. Read freaking shit tons. There you go. Is that better? And found out about the race. Found out about beginner marathon plans. While I was in Canada, I bought a book. I went to the Running Room and bought a book. Running Room is a big chain of very cool, very serious running stores in Canada. Bought a book, a beginner kind of marathon guidebook at the Running Room by the founder of the marathon, or of the Running Room. The founder of the marathon. Wasn't that Phidippides? Yeah, I don't think Phidippides wrote a book because he died right after he ran that distance. Kind of like took a bit from that book, a bit from different training plans, some YouTube videos, and kind of tattered together my own little kind of training plan. And on that day, my wife woke up crack of dawn. We woke up at 4 a.m. I got a video about this, by the way. The link's below. Okay, check the link below. But my first marathon. Link is below. That was 2008, November 2008. And we headed into Osaka. And I ran my first marathon. And it was painful. It was wonderful and joyous. And I remember that I vowed to myself, you know what, there's nothing wrong about run, walk. And if you want to do a run, walk plan, that's amazing. That's a great way to do things. And a lot of ultra runners do that too. But I vowed to myself, I will not walk. And that was my only thing. And I quickly realized, after about 15, 20 Ks, every time I hit an aid station, if I slowed down or I stopped to get my drinks or my food or this or that, my legs started seizing up. So I decided I cannot walk. Gotta just keep running and grab my stuff and keep going. And I did it. I remember when I arrived at the 40 kilometer point and seeing that sign and knowing that I only had 2 kilometers and change to go, it started to hit me. By the time I hit 41 kilometers, I knew I was going to do this. I was going to finish my first marathon that I'd ever attempted. I literally started to cry, realizing that I had done the hardest thing of my life up until that point. The greatest thing of my life until that point. Meeting my wife is an amazing thing too, and that is a great thing in life. That's apples and oranges. You can't compare them, I suppose. The greatest physical, mental feat? With my wife, it's a lucky feat, because I was lucky enough to meet such a wonderful woman. But the greatest physical feat of my life. And I remember when I saw that finish line off in the distance, I started to literally cry, like sob, like a baby as I ran. And I crossed that finish line, and gotta admit, guys, at that point, that was the greatest moment of my life. To accomplish a goal, and at that point, I was not very good at accomplishing goals, and people who knew me knew that I was not great at accomplishing goals. But yeah, it was a very special moment, and I remember so vividly. And you will too if you run your first marathon, or if you're looking back at your first marathon, you'll remember this. The pain, so many moments of you saying to yourself, why the fuck am I doing this to myself? This is horrible. Why am I doing this? And then once it was done, well, at least for me, I said that was absolutely horrible, and I can't wait to do it again. That's right. That was absolutely horrible, and I can't wait to do it again. Welcome to the world of running. Alright guys, Kevin here on Run 'Cause It's Fun. Busan Kevin, links below. Jalen Kev, I'm all over the place on YouTube. Hope you're doing well. Hope things are going well for you wherever you are. And I'm here in Japan, and it is a Friday evening, and I plan to do a 10K tomorrow and a 15 to 20K on Sunday. And that's all she wrote, folks. And there we go. There's the train. I'm gonna get on this train pretty soon and go home. Take care from Kevin here in Japan. Keep on running.